Hey everybody, welcome to this video. We are jumping into December album. If you're new, I have a couple of stories already videoed and they'll be linked below. If you're coming back, thank you so much. I know it's a super busy time of year, so let's get started. So here's my day 9, and this is what we're going to be doing today. Can you see the little shakety shake? Yeah, this comes with a serious surprise at the end. I say surprise because I super surprised myself. So you will have to watch for that. I added this tag in with journaling to talk about the story happening here. Snowfall on my porch, basically. And then that segues into day 10, which is right here. I always like to add my wrapping in. It's one of my stories. This time I actually added in packages already wrapped. And then from the Christmas Spectacular that is by 49 and Market, they always have these really large pieces of ephemera. I stapled on this circle punch out, and that way I had a way to pull it in and out. Added my day or my story, which is 10, and then on the back of that I added in my printed journaling that talks about this particular story and basically what this prompted for me. So that's fun, and I'm super glad to have that documented. And then day 11 is over here, and I've been trying to figure out a way. I have a 12 by 12 full sheet of Santas, and I've been trying to figure out a way, how can I add my Santa in? Well, I thought he was really cute here, kind of covering up the next story a little bit. So you obviously you want to open this up. I just rubbed this out on a piece of vellum, and I super love how this looks. I think it's super fun. Can I use super enough? Contrasted here with the photo, and of course Santa and presents, and you know, the whole thing goes. So this is day, or I keep saying day, and I really mean story. This is story 11, because this did not happen on the 11th. But this was a twofold story. So it was my busy weekend. My son had a concert at his school, and then he had his winter formal that night. And so I'd grabbed a couple of photos. In between these pictures here, I added in, oh, can she get it? Yes, I added in the little program from that day. And then here on yet another piece of the ephemera, I have adhered to the back my typewritten journaling. And so that is all on one little 4x6 pocket page. So that's up to 11. Okay. Let's segue right into this now. So I have several ideas running through my head, and you all have kind of communicated when you watch and when you comment, and thank you so much for your comments, that you kind of like the winging it. So I think you're a glutton for punishment, but okay. But that's okay. That's okay. So I just was thinking through some ideas. So you can see I've gathered a bunch of things here. I don't quite need this yet, because what I need to do is my background paper is going to be this. This is called Hidden Holly. It's super vintagey and mixed media. And I was actually thinking, whoops, this isn't the color. I had originally thought of using this pour paper that I have just cut up. I don't even know what it's called anymore. Clearly, there's not enough for a full page. I just thought this dark green, the black, was stunning against that. But here's the thing. I have another pack of paper. I don't know if you do this, but I want to really dig through what I already have before I open that up and start breaking that up. So that's why this is me using what I have. But I do think I'm going to cut the Joy. I have this Joy from Penny Black, and they also have Love. There's a Hope, just sold out, and I had it in my cart, and you know how it goes, right? It got sold out of my cart. That's okay. I'm not complaining. I just know better than that. But anyway, I think I'm going to cut this out of this paper here. So the first thing I need to do, though, is I never remember. I don't know why not. I can't imagine there being too many things in my head right now. But I want this to be a pretty good size background. So I'm going to go kind of full size open 6x8 page protector. So that's what I'm doing there. So I'm just going to trim that out to that size. Okay, now tell me this isn't beautiful, because this is a beautiful cut. I love the contrast of patterns. Okay, so what I wanted to do a little shaker, but not super shaker. I think not super shaker. I'm so funny. I think I want to call it a flat shaker because I'm not going to have much space in between. So what I mean by that is I'm thinking to cut out the acetate to match the O, and then add in, I think this is going to be part of it, the snowflake, because it was snowing that day. Add in this and some of the sequins, and then just go flat with another piece. Does that make sense? I have my die cut, and something that I had discovered is that you have to be really careful with the glue. Now, I know you already knew that. What I'm going to do, there's some pretty skinny parts on here. I will reserve the glue for that. But I'm going to take this 1/8 inch double-sided adhesive. I think it'll be a lot cleaner, obviously. And put that as best I can right around the edge until I can't. Like this here. I don't know, I might be able to use a little bit more. And then I'll save the glue for those super skinny parts. I don't do a whole lot of shakers. The first page in this year's book is a shaker, but I used double-sided adhesive foam strips. And it wasn't that skinny, right? I was totally covering up. If you saw that video, I was totally covering up what I had been doing in terms of laying down the shaker part. So that was a little different. Okay, there's another thing I've learned though. I don't know about you, but I struggle to cut acetate with a die cutting machine. But I was trying to figure out, because this circle is 3 inches, what about a 3-inch circle die to pre-cut it and then lay that on there. So this is what I discovered. In an effort to kind of in an effort to keep my acetate clean before putting it through the machine, I took a piece of paper, pretend that's not a hole, and I laid my acetate down, my dye down, and then just folded the piece of paper. And what I discovered was that for the most part, the acetate cut really well. I have a little part here that didn't, but that was a new discovery for me. I wanted to pass that on. So that's useful for anytime you want to cut acetate. It basically needed just a bit of a shim to give it just a little bit more something to be able to cut. So this was a 3-inch circle die. And so super happy how that turned out. And I want to make sure that I shared that with you. Okay, so back to this for a moment. Let's get this wrapped up, because once this is wrapped up, this page is almost all done. I'm going to go ahead and take my backer pieces off. I'm going to go real easy with my glue. And by that I mean just a few little dots on this open space. And this part here probably could go without a little bit of this glue. This is the acetate that's adhered to the paper, obviously. It's not holding anything in place, if that makes sense. Okay, so the other thing I discovered with this 3-inch circle, while it fits almost all of this completely, and of course this is going to be unique to whatever die that you are using. I just happen to be using this Joy. I just wanted to take advantage of the big opening. But I have a little bit here that's still overlapping. And so I'm just going to come in here and trim that off. Okay. So then at this point, what do? At this point, we need to go ahead and add in some more adhesive before we lay in the shaker parts. Okay, so now before we lay in our next piece of acetate, it's a fun part. I really like that snowflake. It played into the story that's in the picture. I'm going to put these guys behind. I don't think I need a whole bunch. I'm just going for a little bit of effect here, right? Because it is going to be pretty flat. It's not really going to shake around too terribly much. It is a little. Trying to avoid my edges. That's the tricky part, I think, about making shakers, is your edges are already ready for the adhesion. Okay, now I'm going to get my other acetate here and do the same thing that I did before. I'm going to line it up on the top. Yep. Can she get it? Can she get it? She might have a little too much shaker in here. Can you have too much shaker? Yeah, I think you can actually. What do you think? Let's push. See, the thing with this, I probably don't have a great choice for sequins because, oh, I think I got it closed. Oh, I think I got it. Because there are some in here that are pretty jewel-like. They're kind of thick. And if I have anything, I still remember down here, I got to still trim that up. I'm going to let this dry and then we will continue. Okay, I added some little clips here while it was drying to help that process. This looks like here, it could dry a little bit more and that super helped. Okay, so the next idea I had, and I'm not sure how, except for the fact that, I know, don't you like how I explain a thing and then I go ahead and explain why it won't work? Forgive me. Okay, I wanted my journal tag to be in the back, but I haven't a way to safely keep it so that it won't slide through. But I think because I put in this larger piece of, well, a big bow. That's just all I want to say about that. It's a big bow. From some twine from my stash, that I think it's going to be okay. I think. But if that doesn't work, we'll just figure it out. Something I'm really learning about the making process, and I've talked before just a little bit about the problem with perfectionism. And I have a problem with perfectionism. I really do. I am so much more aware of it now than what I used to be aware of it. I see when it rears its ugly head. And I am kind of sometimes force myself into situations where don't think through the whole thing, Jamie, and then try and figure it out if it doesn't work out perfectly or whatever. And that's kind of what's happening with this. I knew I wanted this fun flat shaker. So I knew I wanted this. Just got to decide now where exactly I want it. And it's just gonna happen, right? If I have to come in here and maybe put my journaling on some vellum and add it down there, that'll work. That'll be fine. One of the things I like about having these grids is that when I do really want to line something up, it's not about being perfectionist. It's just about, let's just kind of get the joy on there straight instead of haphazard. Okay, so what do we think? Oh, you know what? There is some resistance. Oh, it works perfect. I'm truly tickled. Look at me go. Oh, that is super fun. Ta-da! That's our joy page, you guys. How fun was that? Do I have the joy on there straight? I still don't think I do, but oh my goodness, we're just going to have to and embrace it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy how that worked out. Okay, let me mark my holes on here. Okay, so what's the moral of the story? You don't have to have it all figured out. Something works out. If you have an idea, that's really what this is all about. If you have an idea, you're not really sure how it's going to play out, just start playing with it because it just might surprise you. This is the one that surprised us today. Oh, I love how this turned out. This just makes me so happy. Forgive my exuberance here, but the last thing I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do it today here in the video, but I have this little label and I'm going to put my 9 on my label there, and then this will be done. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your interest in these videos. Thank you for hanging in here with December album 2023. If you have any questions, if you're looking for a supply list, it is in the descriptions, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.